Claps don't build you, they distract you. Because once the noise is gone, so are you. If you need people to see it, you don't own it. Real discipline is private, and most of you can't survive that. You started somewhere, not here, not this version, the one before, the one who needed to be seen, who needed the nod, the notice, the proof. You posted, you performed, you waited, and when it came, when the claps came, you felt it for a second, 1 second. Then it was gone, and you needed more. That is not strength. That is a slow drain. Here is what that actually costs you. Every move you make for an audience is a move you did not make for yourself. Every time you act for the reaction, you hand your power to whoever is watching, and they do not hold it carefully. They scroll past it, they forget it by Tuesday, and you are left holding nothing. That is the trap. Not failure, not hard times. The trap is needing the clap to keep going. Nothing. That word. Sit with it. Nothing is what you are left with when the validation runs out, and it always runs out, every time, without exception. You know this already. You have felt it already. The high that did not hold, the praise that faded fast, the win that felt empty by morning. You know this, and you keep going back. Why? Because no one taught you the other way, the quiet way, the way that does not come with sound, the way where you keep the promise even when no one is tracking it, where you do the work even when the room is empty, where you show up even when showing up gets you nothing visible. That is the other way, and it is hard, harder than anything that comes with applause, because there is no immediate reward, no confirmation, no proof it is working, just the act, just the choice, just you and what you said you would do.
Most people cannot hold that. They need the feedback loop. They need someone to say it is working. They need the numbers to go up. They need the room to respond. And when none of that comes, they stop. They tell themselves it is strategy. They call it a reset, but it is not. It is the need for validation, winning again. The one who keeps going when no one is watching, the one who does not announce the early morning, the one who does not post the hard day, the one who keeps the promise quietly, with no record of it, no receipt, no witness. That one is building something different. Not reputation, not image, not a version of themselves for others to approve. Something that does not need approval. Private. That is where the real work lives. Not on the screen, not in the highlight, not in the story you show. In the moment no one will ever see. That is where you either hold or fold. And most fold. Not because they are weak, because they never learned to work without the reward. You want to know what real discipline feels like? It feels like nothing. Not a rush, not a high, not the feeling you were hoping for. It feels like nothing because nothing external confirms it. No signal comes back, no pat on the back, no number that proves it. Just the act. Done. Finished. Gone. And tomorrow, you do it again. That's it. That's the whole thing. And it will never look impressive from the outside because it was never built for the outside. What are you building this for? That question matters more than the work itself. If the answer involves someone else, if the answer involves being seen or respected by a room or finally getting credit, the foundation is already cracked. Not because you are wrong for wanting those things, because those things are outside your control, and you are building your entire house on ground you do not own. Crack. That sound, you know it. It's the moment the external thing collapses and you realize you built everything on it. The deal that fell through, the person who stopped showing up, the account that stopped growing, the plan that died, and suddenly you don't know who you are without it. That's the real cost, not the loss of the thing, the loss of yourself in the thing. The ones who do not crack there, they are not tougher by nature. They built something before the collapse. They built a relationship with themselves, where they kept promises to themselves. When nothing was watching, when nothing was rewarding, when it made no sense to anyone around them, they kept going. Not with passion, not with fire, with decision. One quiet decision at a time. You think they feel more than you. You think they are locked in, wired differently, built for it. They are not. They are tired. They doubt it too. Some days they do not want to. Some days it is heavy and pointless. They go anyway. Not because it feels good, because they decided to. And the decision already happened, so the feeling does not get a vote. That is the military mind. Execute. Not when it's easy, not when it's exciting, when it's on the list. Execute. Not eventually, not when you feel it. Now. Because now is when it costs something, and the cost is the point. Doing it when it costs you is the whole exercise. That's where you build the thing no one can take, because no one gave it to you. You built it, alone, in the quiet, when it was not comfortable, when you got nothing for it. That's where self-respect comes from. Not from being respected, from respecting yourself. From making a decision and keeping it. Without an audience, without a reward, without a reason that anyone else would understand. You said you would, so you did. Full stop. That's the whole formula. No extra steps, no secret, no shortcut. You said it, you did it, you proved it to the only one who has to live with it. You. The problem is you have broken promises to yourself for a long time. You know which ones. You do not need a list. They are already running. The ones you said and did not do, the ones you started and dropped, the ones no one else knows about, but you know. And every time you break one, you take a piece of your own trust away. Quietly. No announcement, no consequence from the outside, just a quiet reduction of faith in yourself. And it adds up.
That is why you hesitate, why you wait for a sign, why you need someone to believe in you before you believe. Because you stopped being someone you trust. Somewhere along the way, you made promises to yourself and you walked away from them. And now part of you does not believe your own word. That is a real cost. Not weakness, not failure, an actual cost. And it is reversible. One promise, made, kept. No one sees it. That is not the point. The point is you see it. You know it happened. You know you said it and you did not fold. That is a deposit into something no market can crash, something no one can take from you, something that does not expire. Do it again tomorrow. Same amount of visibility, which is none. Again the day after. Watch what happens to the way you carry yourself. Not because you earned the room's respect, because you earned your own. And it shows, not in what you say, in how you move. The warrior did not perform. Honor was not stage act. It was a private code. You kept it or you did not. And if you broke it, you knew. The world did not have to tell you. That is the standard. Your own code, your own line, the one you set, not the one someone else approves. The one you cannot cross and still respect what you see. What is that line for you? Where is the place you said you would not go and have gone and told yourself it was fine? It was not fine. You knew that. That is the weight you carry. Weight. You feel it because you're carrying something unfinished, a version of yourself you haven't kept up with, a standard you set and haven't met. Not failure, a gap. And the gap does not close with more noise. It does not close with a win someone else sees. It closes with one private act, made and kept when nothing was watching. Start there. Not with the big move, not with the announcement, not with the new plan, with the one thing you said you would do that you haven't done. Do that today, alone, without telling anyone, without marking it somewhere visible, without waiting for the confirmation that it matters. It matters because you decided it does, and your decision is the only vote that counts here.
That is the shift. You stop waiting for the world to confirm your value. You start confirming it yourself. One quiet act at a time. One kept promise at a time. One moment where you could have folded and did not. Not heroic, not loud, not worth a post. Worth everything to the person you are trying to build. What does it cost to stay where you are? Not today. Today is manageable. You have been managing it. A year from now, still chasing the clap, still performing for the reaction, still empty an hour after the win, still needing more to feel like enough. That is a year of burning energy on a fire that does not keep you warm. 5 years, same pattern. Older, same hunger. No closer to the thing underneath it, the thing you actually want, which is to feel like you are enough. Not because someone said it, because you know it, because you built it with your own hands in moments no one saw. That is what's actually on the table. Not a goal, not a milestone, your relationship with yourself. The one that outlasts every win, every loss, every opinion, every audience. That is what you are building with every private act, or what you're burning with every act made for applause. Choose. Not someday, not when the time is right, not when you feel ready. The time is not a sign. The feeling is not a requirement. The work does not wait for those. The promise you made to yourself does not get easier with time. It gets heavier the longer it sits unkept. You already know that. That weight is not new. Choose. That is the only word that matters now. Not how, not when, not what the plan looks like. Choose. To be someone you trust. To do what you said. To close the gap between the version you're showing and the version you're building. Quietly, alone, without the clap. The clap will come, or it will not. That is not the measure anymore. The measure is simple. Did you do what you said when no one was watching, when it cost you something, when there was no reward on the other side? Did you do it anyway? That is the question you live with every single day. Not the crowd's verdict, yours. And here is what changes when you answer yes. Not overnight, not dramatically, quietly. You start to believe your own word again. You start to move differently. The hesitation gets smaller. Not because the doubt is gone, because you have recent evidence of who you are when it gets hard. And that evidence is the only thing that holds when everything outside you shifts, when the plan changes, when the result does not come, when someone you counted on leaves. You still have the evidence, private, real, yours. That is what they cannot take. Not the win, not the title, not the platform. The fact that you kept going when no one was watching. That is yours, completely, permanently. No one approved it. No one needs to. You were there. You know what it cost.
You know what you chose, and that becomes the foundation. Not pride, not reputation, proof. Private proof that you are who you said you were. The noise will come and go. The crowd will come and go. The winds will come and go. The validation will come and go. One thing does not go. What you built alone, when it was hard, when no one saw it, when nothing confirmed it was worth it, that stays. It compounds. It becomes the thing underneath everything else, the thing that does not shake when everything else does.
You started wanting to be seen. That is not a flaw. That is human. But somewhere in the chase, you found something else. The moment you showed up and no one noticed, and you came back anyway, that moment changed something. You may not have named it then, but you felt it. A small thing, quiet, private, real. That was the beginning of something that belongs to no one else. Claps don't build you. You already knew that. Now you know what does. The act made in the dark, the promise kept in the quiet, the choice made when the cost was real and the reward was nothing visible. That is the work. That is the whole thing. Do it. No one needs to know.